Now, back to Coastal Living on KZTV.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Coastal Living. Please welcome the man that keeps our plants alive and thriving. We have Trent Hoffman here, the owner of Bay Area Landscape Nursery. Thank you for joining us today.
Good to see you again. Congratulations on the wedding.
Thank you so much.
And we were talking off camera and I had to bust you a little bit because I'm surprised I'm back here because you did a great job on that segment with your son. Your new husband. Yeah, and you said all the right things, so I was very, very impressed. So,
thank you.
Yeah, so well, I'm gonna let you kind of take over here.
Right, and now it's my turn. No, it just goes to show how much I myself have learned. I know Kendall, Jocelyn, we've all taken away a lot of what you teach us every time you come on the show, but I know our viewers too really get a lot out of these segments. And now that spring is here, it's truly an opportunity to plant and see things bloom and flourish. Now, did we miss the deadline to plant these spring plants, or do we still have time?
Absolutely not. This is the best time, okay? And, you know, when we talked in the fall, we had some plants. We had flax lily, foxtail. We're kind of boring, you know. We didn't know if we were going to...
They could be watching, Trent.
They're not those exciting plants, right?
Sure.
So they're good plants, but not exciting ones. So we never want to plant anything that's blooming, tropical in the fall, because we don't know what our winter's going to do.
Yeah.
So we always want to wait till the spring. So now that spring has sprung, today is the first day of spring.
It sure is.
All right, so we have unlimited things that we can plant. So we're gonna go over some of them. This is where you can really get into the color and make your front of your house look great.
Awesome. Okay, so where do we start? Which side are we starting
We'll
from?
start on your side over there, okay?
So
those two right there, they're actually the same plant that the Esperanza, the yellow, that's the yellow bells it's called. All right, gets about 8 foot tall. All right, good for butterflies, attracts butterflies, hummingbirds, really pretty yellow flowers all summer long.
Nice.
Okay? In front of it is the Esperanza. It's called Bells of Fire. Has a little reddish orange bloom to it. Same with the hummingbirds and the butterflies. A little bit different leaf. It's a little more compact. Get about 4 to 6 foot tall.
Okay, so you want to give them a little bit of space to really get big and bushy, and they're sisters, so they complement each other very well.
That is correct.
If you're OCD and you need like the same plant, different colors, put them next to each other and make it make sense, this is your opportunity to do that. So they are really, really pretty. And different leaves, though. Yeah,
different leaves, because the Bells of Fire is a little more compact, stays a little bit shorter, not a lot, but you know, a couple of feet.
Okay, awesome. And a few others here. We can't go into detail about all of them, but of course the hibiscus we know is an absolutely gorgeous plant that kind of thrives on its own.
Yes, and the hibiscus are really pretty. So since we're on the hibiscus, we're going to talk about this product here, because hibiscus are really, really, really nice, but they're a little temperamental.
Okay.
So once they get mealy bugs, which they're real prone to, they kind of go south.
I've got those on a few of my plants. Is this what we need?
Yes, and this is a really good 3-in-1, okay? And the reason why I like it, it's also a fertilizer. So you go ahead and put it down now 3-4 times a year. You're going to do that preventative maintenance. That way your hibiscus do not get the bugs and they'll look great. That's the only drawback to a hibiscus, is it's prone to the mealybugs. Other than that, they can take the heat and they bloom gorgeous.
And is this is the rose and flower care, but not just particularly for roses?
That is correct. Yes.
And are the mealybugs just the tiny, tiny little black ones that crawl around in the soil?
No, the black ones, that'll take care of that. Those are aphids. The mealybugs look like cotton. They're white. And they hang off. And they really do destroy the hibiscus. And it's real hard. You can kill them. It's real hard to bring them back to look good. They'll start looking naughty. So you really want to keep them from getting that. Like I said, hibiscus are great plants. They flower great. They're great in the heat. Just do the preventive maintenance, you'll be fine.
Okay, so honestly, I think I've come to the conclusion that not all of my dead plants are my fault. I think they had bugs and I just wasn't looking closely enough at the soil. So now I know which product I need to buy. Now, of course, Bay Area Landscape Nursery has all of these products available to you, including some of these gorgeous ones that we're looking at. Now let's go into the fertilizer. You've mentioned fertilizer before. You've got, this is compost. Is that the same thing?
Similar. You always want to amend your soil when you're planting. We have that ugly clay soil. You always want to dig your hole a little bit bigger, about a half size bigger than the size of your pot. And you always want to amend the soil. This is a great compost that we sell, all right? You'll go 50-50 what dirt you take out. You'll add 50% of this compost back with the regular dirt and put it back in. If you want to, you can go 100% of this, but you know, if cost savings wise, if you just want to go 50-50, that will work. After you water it in, then you can hit it with this. This is a great all-purpose fertilizer. Water it in, 3 months, you're good to go.
Interesting. And you say mend the soil. Are we taking out plants that have already been planted and giving them like some new life, or is this when we initially plant?
When you initially plant, yes.
Great.
Yeah. So when you initially plant, now you can also, on what you just said, if your dirt's not looking good, say you're having problems with some of your hibiscus and you're seeing some roots, you can add compost around that as well.
Okay.
But feeding your tropicals and your flowering shrubs is extremely important.
All right. So what other tips do we have for people wanting to plant in the spring? Is there a certain distance we need to keep them apart? Should we keep them in a pot for a while till we know that they're good, then transfer them? What's the strategy here for beginners?
Good question. We always want to know what your light requirements are. You had said it on your show earlier. You had watering,
read the
light
little
requirements.
tag that comes on there.
You have to do that, okay? So, and just remember, full sun does not mean full heat, so you have to watch out for that. Always shop local. You really want to talk to your nursery provider. They can give you good tips on what can handle certain light requirements. And when you're planting, make sure you leave the space. So if you know that the tag will tell you it gets 6 feet tall, 4 foot wide, then you want to leave 4 foot space. I know that it's not going to look full.
It looks weird at first.
I understand that, but you have to know it's going to grow in. And I promise you, you will cause yourself a lot more trouble later if you try to pack it in and get that instant gratification. So, and then these little plants here, the Mexican heather and lobelia, if you want to do tiers, these are great border plants. They get about 8 inches tall. So if you have some greenery shrubs and you just want to get some color in your front beds, these are really good. They're real hardy, can handle the heat. And then down here, we have some annuals like the coleus and the begonias. The begonias are real hardy. The coleus does not bloom, but it's the pretty leaf color which gives you the color. So,
absolutely. And I like that you mentioned the, what is it, the layering? The tiering.
Layering or tier,
Layering or tiering, because a lot of people at home, you drive by people who have their homes landscaped, you're like, gosh, that's so beautiful, I don't get how it works. But I'm glad that you have that information available. And you're open for business. Everything is good at Bay Area Landscape and Nursery.
Yes, and this is a great time. We have great prices, great sales. This is a good time. If you're at home with your kids, great projects. If you always said, I want to do something with my yard, this is a great time. Gardening is not canceled.
Exactly. I like that you say that. Well, that's a great opportunity to spend quality time with the family, to teach the kids a thing or two, and how important it is to understand how to take care of each particular plant, because they're all different, just like humans. So maybe a lesson to learn there. Guys, get the springtime planting essentials your yard needs. Visit Bay Area Landscape Nursery at 5902 South Staples. Tell Trent or his gang that we sent you, and let's get you all set up for spring. I mean, there are so many beautiful plants available, the bougainvilleas, the hibiscus, and I know I've learned so much. I know our viewers have. I've got a few products that I need, so I'll be stopping by to get those.